Hello and welcome back to Average Home Theater. I'm Nelson, and I watched a Hulu original today called No One Will Save You. It's an alien invasion movie written and directed by Brian Duffield. Don't know who that is. The only thing I know that he's done is what is it, Love and Monsters? I have no idea what that is. I've just heard of it, and I think he had something to do with Kong Skull Island. And it stars Caitlin Dever. And the only thing I know her from is Justified. She was a little girl in there, if I'm remembering correctly. When I looked her up, I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, I didn't know about this movie until like 2 weeks ago. And I like alien invasion movies. As a matter of fact, I have a surprise. I was on a podcast and we had a discussion about movies similar to this. That won't be airing until January. So once that drops, I will definitely let you guys know where you can listen to it. But anyway, so I kind of got the idea for that subject on that podcast because I had heard of this movie. And I watched it, well, probably about a minute and a half of the trailer, and that's when I realized that they were giving a lot away, or I can tell it was going to be a major scene in the movie. And of course, I was correct. So if you're interested or think you might be interested after watching this, I don't suggest watching the trailer. It's one of those, it's like almost 3 minutes long, and it's just like a scene from the movie. And I don't know why they do that stuff because to me that just gives too much away. And that's why I stopped after about a minute, minute and a half, because I didn't want to give too much away. I felt like I had already seen too much. So it drops today, September 22nd, and I get off of work early on Fridays when I'm not busy, don't have deadlines, and I came home and the first thing I did was put this on. And we're gonna go spoiler free. Um, it's good. It's not great. I was a little let down because it kind of took a turn for the really weird. It starts off as a pretty straightforward alien type movie, alien invasion, like traditional aliens. Um, and then it kind of it gets weird, especially at the end. And I like the ending and I don't. So if you watch the movie, you understand what I'm talking about. They went for something, and not by any means, the movie's not going to end how you think it ends. So, it's okay. I kind of like it. The more I think about it, I think I like the ending a lot, but then I don't. So I'm kind of torn. The traditionalist wanted a more traditional ending, but then when you start thinking about what they did, it's like, you know what? That's kind of cool. They did something different, and I think I'm okay with it. So yeah, it's a good movie, and I think it's worth a watch. It's an hour and a half. Um, it gets started really fast. They don't waste much time getting to um, the action, I guess, you could say. And the character development kind of comes as the action is happening. It's not a traditional movie where you get a lot of character development for like the first 30, 40 minutes of the movie, and then things start to happen. No, this one doesn't do that. You get a little bit at the very beginning, 5, 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and then boom, things start happening. And then it starts to explain why the character is the way she is as the movie goes. And I kind of like it. It's a different formula. Um, and it's pretty good. Now I can see why it's a Hulu movie and didn't get a theater release because I guess maybe because it's meh. But at this time of year, there's not a whole lot. It probably would have done okay. It's getting close to Halloween. People like scary type movies, thrillers. So I don't know. I don't know what goes into all of that. I don't understand the business that way. But overall, the movie is well shot. I mean, it looks really good. Watching it in my theater, as you can tell, it's daytime, so I probably would have been better off watching it at night. But it still looked really good for a Hulu stream. The sound was really good, the mix. But I had to turn it up really loud. My normal reference level is if I'm watching a movie on Blu-ray or 4K disc, it's usually around 60. is like it's loud and it sounds really good. But for some of these digital streams that are not Dolby Atmos, they have to be like 70, 75. And I had this one on 75 the whole time. So I really had to bump it up. But it did sound pretty good for a stream. On disc, this would probably be an awesome soundtrack. So yeah, kudos to them on that. Very good mix. Um, so yeah, I think that's all I have for it. It's worth a watch. It's an hour and a half. Oh, as far as that goes, like I was saying, the way the movie's structured, because the action happens pretty fast, after like an hour in, I was thinking the movie was almost over because of what was going on at that stage. And I looked at the time, I was like, it's only been on an hour. What can they have for 30 more minutes? So it does seem a little weird at that point, but once you get through the movie, it all makes sense. So, quick hour and a half movie, Friday night, getting close to Halloween, end of September. Yeah, I think it's worth a watch. So anyway, that's all I have. And remember, like, subscribe, tell your friends. And myself and producer Nick are going to be recording something actually tomorrow, and I'll have that released next week. So until then, see you later.